Hey guys, so Riley's going to do a little bit of a lesson here. I've got to just write something in. Can you hear me, Rich?
Yeah, all good. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can. Every time I turn this on, it's connected to my Bluetooth headphone things. How are we doing? So I was just trying to, if anyone's got any questions as we go, I don't know how to actually pin the post. I'm rubbish at this, aren't
Oh, you're not that bad, mate.
I? There we go. There we go. Cool. So, how you doing, Rich?
Yeah, good. You boys all right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Been doing a lot of practice?
Yeah, we've been hitting and just playing a few games, but it's getting a bit boring being at home now.
Yeah. I'm itching to get back out to work, to be honest with you, but I better not
I'm
tell my
starting
wife
to,
that.
I'm starting to feel it a bit like this week, and the kids going back to school and just not being able to just crack on.
Yeah.
Riley's bringing me times tables that I don't know the answers to, and and
I've
all
not got
that.
a problem yet. I've only got colouring in and dot the dot at the moment with my kids, so yeah, I've got all that to come.
Happy days. So we're going to try a live lesson, aren't we?
Yeah,
So going to have
right.
a 30 minutes,
Yeah,
just having a quick check-in. This,
yeah,
for anyone that is tuning in or tuning in later, this is kind of what we do as and when, isn't it? Just sort of pop in 30 minutes, have a little look, see if there's anything that maybe we can brush up on, and then we go away and work on it. So this is really just giving people a bit of an insight into what we do, I guess.
definitely. So all I want to know then really is because obviously I saw you guys probably a couple of weeks ago, didn't I?
Yeah,
And we had a good session, worked on a few things. So this is a good time to kind of catch up and see whether we've progressed on the changes.
yeah.
Um, how have you been finding things?
Have you found it?
It's been quite fun hitting into the net. Um,
How do you think you've been swinging?
I've been swinging okay. There's been like days where I've been hitting it really well and days when I've not hit it so well. But yeah,
In general, he seems to be obviously can't see where the ball goes, but
Yeah,
he's been going out having a hit every now and then, and uh, just enjoying it. We've been doing a few games with the chipping. I know for myself, I've just constantly been having little tweaks whilst I can. It's the perfect opportunity. So um, going going out there, working on that bit of a squat and turn just to stop
yeah,
that knee coming through, um, and and also sort of slowing that backswing down and just working. I'm trying to work through my impact position a little bit better. So I still get really flippy. It's something me and you have always
yeah,
sort of noticed, and
yeah,
we don't know whether it's a physical sort of limitation where the body doesn't turn great, and I sort of get there, and I. I'm good at impact. It's just like straight away afterwards,
it's
I've
like a reaction,
flipped.
isn't it? Yeah,
It's like a reaction, and if 9 times out of 10 it's all good, but if I don't time that flip very well, I've got the worst shot in the world coming out, especially with the driver, and
yeah,
trying to hit it far. So
yeah,
yeah, that's sort of what I've been doing. Riley, it's just a backswing really. We used a
yeah. We're
bit of
trying
colour.
to teach it.
Yeah, so we used a bit of the colour path with that just to try and highlight it again with some of the things that you were doing.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not trying to keep it overly technical with Riley. Just that's the one thing he's worked on, and
yeah.
and then
So how's it?
then
How's his ball striking been?
decent. But I guess where we've done, you can even see it on the club at the minute. He's probably slightly more out the heel than he is out the centre. Usually, if there's any direction, it would be out the heel.
Okay, okay.
I know this looks awful with him being left-handed, so if anyone's thinking Riley's caggy, he's not. It's just using that front camera.
Yeah. I'll do my best. I like left-handed golf swings.
Cool. What do you want? Do you want Riley to hit a few?
Yeah, let's hit a few and see how it's looking. It'd be good if you could just move your camera a little bit. I guess
Which way?
to my right. Is that your left?
Not that way.
That's it, that way.
That way.
That's it, yeah.
Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, I've got a big parasol here. Get that out of the way. I can go anywhere.
That's good.
Yeah.
A little bit more, a little bit the other way again. That's it. That's cool. I can see his takeaway now. That's fine. Right then, Riley. Let's hit a few, mate. Let's see what's going on.
I guess if anyone is watching and have got any questions to ask what we're doing with Riley, this is the perfect opportunity, isn't it, Rich?
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to answer anything.
It's quite stressful in these situations. We've done a few putting ones where, there may have only been 3 or 4 people in there, but just because someone's watching, it's like that first tee. It's like being on the first tee, isn't it?
Yeah. A few more nerves going around.
It's a good way to practice, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely looking a bit steeper, isn't it? It's before his forearm was rolling on his takeaway, the club was getting behind him very early on. Just the only thing that I'm seeing here. So his left arm is tending to just disconnect ever so slightly, so kind of move out in front of him, away from him.
That makes sense.
So I'd like to see a little bit more connection with that left arm, kind of under your armpit, Riley. Keep that tight to your pec on your chest as you take the club away, and then just try and feel like the club head stays slightly outside of your hands as you take away on the first move. That's better. Just exaggerate it, mate. Now that looks a lot better to me.
Bit more down the line.
Absolutely, yeah. The thing is, I mean, Andy, I'll say this to you as well as Riley because you're always with him looking, but if he gets disconnected on that first move, like as we've seen in the past, he'll take it up quite steep, but then he'll reroute it. So, I would say pre-Christmas, we were working on trying to get his path more from the inside, weren't we?
Yeah.
And then now, obviously, with the stuff that we've worked on, it's just obviously gone a little bit exaggerated, and he's a little bit too much from the inside. But if he feels like he gets the club a bit more outside the line, he does have a tendency to kind of drop and lose height and shallow it too much. So I'd like to see everything a lot more connected to get the club working a bit more in sync with the body. And that first move is really important. Lovely. He looks a lot better balanced as well. Have you noticed that?
I don't know if it's maybe just because he's been coming out and just doing it a little bit more. I mean,
yeah.
you know what we're like before, quite busy. So,
yeah.
We don't practice loads and loads. So the fact that he's been out doing a little bit more, it's like when he's doing keepy-uppies with a football and he's, you get 10, 15 keepy-uppies on the go where before lockdown, he'd be lucky to get 3 or 4. It's just
absolutely, yeah.
Maybe you get a little bit more, just those motor skills doing it, a bit more repetition, but,
I think for a few people, though, I think it'll be a blessing in disguise having a bit more time like this.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I've enjoyed it. I mean, there's loads of things I've been messing about with, and I'm sort of glad I don't know where the ball's going.
Lovely. Good move. How does that feel, Riley?
I feel better.
Feels a bit more connected?
Yeah.
So just that left arm literally needs to hug your pec as you take it away. Keep that club head slightly outside of your hands and then just let it go. Good swing.
I think balance has been a big one as well. Like just holding that position at the end, which is so it sounds so simple, but certainly with juniors where all these motor skills are coming in, it's if you can hold that position, it shows that they've got good balance through the swing.
Thing is as well, that was a great swing, Riley. thing is, I mean, he's growing so quickly.
Yeah.
So the rate he's growing, I mean, he's, you know, it's a little bit all over the place. He could be overbalancing in certain areas, but he looks really controlled at the moment. He looks a lot more dynamic. So he's, you know, he's definitely rotating better.
I don't know what was going on with my feed. There's been a few questions. I didn't know if you saw them coming through or not.
Let me have a look. I've just seen one about okay, how long have I been coaching the little lad for? What would we say? A couple of years, is it?
Yeah, I think we've been at RAG for two and a half years now.
So I met you first, Andy, didn't I? Through RAS.
I've seen you for a while because I saw you when we were at Carswell. You carry on it in. You just keep.
Yeah, so I saw you when you came for a group lesson, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I've been with you for about 4 years. I think, Rich.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Riley, me and Riley moved across, and we sort of took it slow to start off with. We've just been doing the old sort of Saturday sessions, and then it was only into last year which we started seeing you a bit more. You know what it's like with me. I just always sort of worried about pushing too hard too early and things. So, but then we started doing a little bit more on the TrackMan. One, he enjoys it. You know, he comes in and sees a bit of numbers and things like that, and spending a bit longer with yourself. But I think the best stuff we've done is when we've got out on the course, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say. It was that's the stuff I enjoy the most, is seeing him play in action and actually appreciating how good his short game is. That's the main thing. It's fantastic to watch him play. Definitely.
Yeah, Riley, there's a question for you here. What's your natural shot shape? What is it now?
What is it now? I don't really know because I haven't been. I don't know.
Because which way are you coming in from now? Are you coming from the inside or from the outside? Are you cutting across it, fading it, or do you? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my! I don't know.
He doesn't know. If I was going to say, you know, Riley's pretty straight. Kids usually are, aren't they, Rich?
Yes.
Because of the levers and everything. But
yeah,
if I was with what we've worked on before Christmas, it was definitely a left to right.
Definitely.
But because it was too much left to right in that path, do you remember when you were really cutting across on the TrackMan?
Yeah.
And you would then start coming from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So coming from the inside to outside moves the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right
to left. I'm just testing his golf knowledge.
I think what highlighted that change was pre-Christmas. I mean, you were hitting a bit of a fade, but where you've been such a good driver of the ball, before Christmas you were really struggling with your driver, weren't you? You were getting really steep. The ball flight was going really, really high. So we kind of got on TrackMan, saw that your swing path was, you know, sometimes it was kind of 5 or 6 degrees out to him, wasn't it? So
yeah, we've got a bit like wild.
Yeah. So, and then you obviously lost a bit of control of that. So we've gone about trying to neutralise it a little bit. And then obviously over this period, Christmas, January, February, and then pre-lockdown, we've gone to try and, you know, make you hit it a little bit more from right to left. And at the moment, because you're still growing all the time, we're just trying to neutralise yourself now and get you near a kind of 1 or 2 degrees from the inside, as opposed to, you know, I think you were 6 or 7. You kind of gone full circle. So at the moment, you're you know, swinging it beautifully, mate. It looks really connected on a good line.
Thanks.
He likes that.
A bit of praise doesn't go amiss now and then, does it?
Absolutely. It's big. Do you want to see it from the front? Do you want to do a different angle?
Yeah. Someone's just said, is he left-handed? No, he's right-handed. Slight camera issues there, but it's all good.
So, shall I? Yeah.
If we can have a look at it from the front, that'd be great.
You'll see him in properly now. I've done it from the other way, and then I can just stand behind.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Here's a bucket of balls.
Superb. So, guys, whoever's watching here, you know, just to give you a bit of an insight from me looking at Riley here, he's really been struggling at impact with kind of getting into as we look at it, like a reverse C shape. So he tends to kind of get quite lateral with his lower body. bumps ahead of the ball, and his upper body sits back quite a long way behind him. And this was kind of causing him to hit the ball quite heavy, hit the ground before the ball. He hit some quite heavy hooks. So we're just trying to get everything a bit more connected, working in sync. So you'll see on his downswing now, he starts with a little bit of a shift into his left side, but we've really worked on rotating to get himself cleared and out the way, so his upper right side can hit the ball for him, which has really improved with his ball striking. Really smooth tempo, isn't it?
Smoother than mine.
Yeah, Andy, if you could just copy Riley, that'd be great. Have you been using the that training aid? Is it the AccuStrike? What?
Oh, Total Golf Trainer.
Yeah, no, the like the mat.
Oh, the pads. Yeah, we have been. Yeah, just to see where the impact is. I would say, if anything, Riley was still a little bit before the ball, but without really sort of going into the nitty gritty. I think that's where I'm really strong. Is that my low point is immediately after the ball. I do tend to clip the ball quite well.
Yeah.
So when you look at mine compared to Riley's, there's probably a couple of inches difference, maybe 1 or 2 inches.
Okay.
It's just one thing that we're aware of.
And
yeah, I don't know what
we talked about this, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago about low point? We were talking about that, trying to get into.
Yeah.
Is he aware? Does he, is he okay with?
So
rather than talking about angle of attack, it's easier to kind of describe low point, isn't it?
So where's low point? Where would the club, the low point after the ball, from the ball position? Do you remember? No, so where the club, so the lowest point, so where you impact on the ball and then go through. I don't think I'm wording that very well.
So Riley, so basically where the ball is, if you turn to the top of your backswing and then come down to where the ball is, that's basically where the bottom of your arc is, yeah? And where your club hits the ground at that point is what we would call low point. But when you're swinging, obviously we're trying to work on some move, a kind of a forward move into your lead side, your left side. So ideally your club wants to hit the ground just after you hit the ball. That's your low point. So when you use the mat, that training aid that shows you where you hit the ground, you want to see your club hitting the floor after you've hit the ball, and then that will give you a better compression. You'll strike the ball a lot more consistently. Hitting
down on the ball. You remember that, don't you? Hitting down through the ball.
But it's really good. He's consistently moving, isn't he? Everything's continually moving through the ball. There's no kind of jerk anymore. He's not halting himself and recovering himself with his hands. It's looking really consistent.
You can hear it through the strike as well,
Yeah.
Rich. I think just one thing we've kept pushing on the channel is sort of feedback, which is why the golf trainer and the spray that we've been using just to get that little bit of feedback. But the audio, how you hear the ball sort of taking the club, that's something that you can get information from as well, can't you?
Definitely. I just say to him here, like, his tempo looks to be slightly quick when his backswing just gets a little bit too short.
Oh yeah, that's one thing on it. Yeah, short backswing.
Have you seen that? Because
yeah,
I've just seen here is it doesn't look as if he's loading up his backswing as much as he has done a couple of times, and then he's just going to transition with pulling his arms down too quickly.
Yeah. Oh, there's a question there, Rich. Mark Humphrey Golf. He said, "Whose swing does Riley's remind you of?" I don't know, but Mark Humphrey can tell us, or yourself.
Well, look. I mean, if I put a driver in his hands, he's got very similar characteristics as Rory. I would say that's who I would be trying to get him swinging it like. He's he's obviously his own person. He's very 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 talented, but yeah, everyone likes Rory. He's world number one, but he's got a lot of characteristics that the same as Rory, I would say.
Right, Riley's paid you to say that, hasn't he?
So I'm going to start charging more, Riley, I think.
Whose does mine remind you of?
Oh, I've got to be careful what I say. Let me think about that for 5 minutes, Andy.
Nice, like it. Well dodged.
I'd say a slightly less mobile Henrik Stenson.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I had started working on my mobility, and then I started running with Riley, and my body feels in absolute rag. He had me. We did a 3.5 miler yesterday, and he's way better at running than I am, and even that now. So I've still got him on the golf course, but he's took me on the running.
How does that affect you physically, Andy? Like, does it impact your knees or anything?
Running, it's my back more than anything, mate. I think because of when I had the knee reconstruction and I've got the hole in my hamstring on the left side, is that personally I'm a little bit lopsided, and so when I go running, I just find that I put my pelvis and that sort of bouncing through the pelvis.
Yeah.
It always sort of just triggers something, so I just get a little bit too tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a good question there, mate. Scratch golf by 40. What advice would you have for a new parent hoping to get my daughter interested in sport, including golf, when she's a little older? So I'll let you answer it, and then I'll put my little piece on it as well.
Yeah, definitely. So
you keep thinking about it.
I'm kind of I'm almost in the same situation, to be fair. I've got a 3, nearly 4-year-old who I'm kind of itching to get into it, but I'm not going to push him. I want him to find it on his own. At the moment, he enjoys coming to work with me and hitting a few balls, or even throwing a ball into a hole. But certainly, I would say take your daughter up to the environment, take her up to the golf course, and kind of just get her on the putting green and just do little fun things, like maybe get her to try and roll the ball into a hole, make it a game, and I would say just get her used to your environment at the moment. Certainly at our golf club, we've got a lot of juniors, a lot of young juniors. And we're lucky we've got a nice little 6-hole academy course that literally they can just go around and do what they want on, even if it's just running in a bunker or anything like that. Just to get them in, thinking that where you go and play golf is fun. And then I would say just get some real light clubs, some plastic clubs probably to start with. I don't know how your daughter is, how old she is. Is she? It doesn't say. Hit some plastic clubs, some plastic balls, and just keep it simple. But I would say from a coaching point of view, I would say it's worth to just, when they're, I would say 5 or 6, it's probably worth investing in a half-hour lesson with a pro. And just to get some pointers for her and more for yourself, really, just on trying to identify the things that, how to stand, how to hold, and let them go from there, really. But I wouldn't pressure them into it. It's just something that needs to be kept really, really fun. But definitely start by getting them in the golf environment at your golf club, wherever you go to practice.
That's how I did it, mate. With Riley just came down the range with me when I was at Carswell, and I just shoved a single club in his hand, and he just hit in the bay next to me. And obviously, I think at the time I would have been a 5 or 6 handicap golfer back then. So I knew how to hold it and things like that. And that was pretty much, I do say I was probably too technical with Riley at an early age. Like when I look back, and that's something that I want to push through the page, in that, the technicalities, yes, holding a club and how to stand, the setups are the most important things. But then as soon as you start talking about, hinging wrists and little things like that, it gets too much. One thing we did with my daughter was, me and Riley would be down on the putting green or chipping, is just get a putter in the hand, because it's the easiest club to do something with. And if they get one near the hole and ultimately they're getting it in the hole, it's giving them a little bit of an achievement as well, where sometimes just hitting ball after ball on the range, they don't get anything out of it, where as soon as that ball hits the hole, it's the same as all of us. That's what we're after, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit monotonous, isn't it? If you just ask them to go to the range and just hit ball after ball, it's just, you know, the attention span at a young age, it just goes, they just get bored. So you need to just keep it fun. I can see she's very, very young, 8 months. So you've got a few years to think about it first, I'd say. Yeah.
Shall I? What do you want to do next, mate?
You've got another question there, Andy. I think you should answer that one.
Oh, I didn't see that. Do you focus mainly on? Oh, I keep losing it. Do you find golf skills, or do you do some movement skills too? So fundamental. I keep losing it on my thing. Hold on. Do you focus mainly on? It keeps going. I don't know why.
Do you focus mainly on golf skills, or do you do some movement skills too? So fundamental movement skills, or fundamental sport skills, or both? And does Riley do any fitness work?
I'll turn it around for this one because Riley's going to get tired. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you hit a couple in a minute, Andy.
Yeah. So yeah. So for me, so anyone that knows me, I'm a PT, so personal trainer in the Royal Air Force. So we're out running. Riley will do circuits with me, movement skills. So we've got the swing speed sticks, so building the speed side of things. But you know, I think doing other sports is really essential for the child's development. So Riley will do loads of football, throwing. You'll know this, Rich. You know, throwing a ball, the transfer of weight. You know, getting the hip through. You know, that's probably as much as I'd get Riley hitting, because that's quite a lot session. You're quite tired now, aren't you? No. But I think, you know, doing other sports and picking up those things. Everyone I've spoken to, mate, that me and my golf, who we spoke to the weekends, every person has said how important it is for doing other sports, not just specialising on golf really early. So absolutely, yeah.
I mean, do you want me to tell a little bit about my story there? So,
yeah.
So for me personally, I mean, I used to play football when I played football up to the age of about 14. You know, I was a pretty high standard footballer, but I was also a scratch golfer at 14. But up to that point, I mean, I didn't really take golf that seriously, if I'm being honest. So, you know, it was just something that I really enjoyed doing. Going out, I was half decent at it. But I did get, you know, to that age, 14, I thought, I kind of need to make a decision now, because the sports were interfering with both, because I couldn't put too much dedication into either or. So I actually chose golf. I quit football there and then and focused on golf. But I think leading up to that, it's really important to do as much physical stuff as you can, because it will improve you as a golfer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he just put there 100% with other sports. The majority of golfers on tour were elite at multiple other sports. And, you know, it's true, isn't it? Brooks Koepka, even Tiger Woods, who did specialise quite a lot. But, you know, these guys are still athletes in their own right. Rory playing football, doing his ankle in.
yeah, definitely.
Want to do that. To a point, you need to do that for sure. I think so. Again, most people, you said about 14, 15, was it, Rich?
Yeah, 14.
So, you know,
at that age as well, you're kind of a bit more, you know, you're a bit more assured of what you want to do in yourself, don't you? You know, when you're 14, a bit any younger than that, you kind of, life's just, you know, it is what it is. But you're a bit more mature. You kind of think about doing things. So I think once you get to that kind of age where you can decide a little bit more what path you want to go down, do it. But before that, just do as much as possible.
And you have to guard against the burnout, don't you? Because you know, I've seen it where the kids are just doing golf day in, day out from like 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, Rory McIlroy was similar, and Tiger was like that, and others. But it's only a small percentage will go through doing that, I think. And I know all the top sportsmen when I was growing up. When I was a swimmer, and all the guys who were head and shoulders like national champions, I've never seen the name anywhere. And these are like, you know, my swimming days were like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
I competed in the national championships backstroke, and you know, the guy who won it by half a length, he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Training for hours and hours a week. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Let's have a look at you then, Andy. Let's see you clip a few.
Which way? Down the line?
We'll go front on, because then I can see your lower body move.
I need to warm up first. Riley, you can look out for the questions, I guess. Rich, if you see any questions, just shout them out, because I don't know if our feed is working right.
Okay. There's Ross Langdon there, who's on here. I played against Ross a few times. He's real good golfer. How you doing, Ross? Good to see you, mate. See, like, so for me, Andy, right? Even there, let me just stop you there. Like, even before you're warming up there. So to me, you're not exaggerating the move enough there, because your feet are together and it looks like your knees are moving too much laterally.
That way.
So I think even on those little swings that you're doing there, at this point here, you really need to be exaggerating them. See, that for me is a far better practice swing than what you were doing. Really smooth.
Thanks. I've only hit 1,000 balls a day.
And the rest. Yeah, the move's looking better though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying. If anyone's watching, and it was always like this leg coming through, and definitely on the short irons as well.
Almost involuntary, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so much better. As you start your downswing, there's separation in between your legs, and then you pivot. It looks really good.
Cool.
What I'd like, because we were talking in the week, weren't we, about like your post impact and after the ball.
Yeah.
I think, like, obviously it's quite difficult to do this in a garden, but something that we need to think about is your exit through the ball. I'd like to see your exit through the ball a little bit lower. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that?
Instead of it coming straight up, like.
Yeah. So for you, your path goes outwards quite a lot, which causes you to shape it quite a bit from right to left. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the amount of rotation that you're now creating with your lower body, just to quieten your hands down and the club face down, you want to feel like your hands are exiting a little bit more to the left. So feel like your hands are kind of working around almost your left pocket through the ball. I mean, that's going to feel drastic. It won't be that drastic, but that, for a feeling, I would say that's probably the best way to do it at the moment. And then on track, when we get on TrackMan, we can obviously see what your numbers are saying.
Yeah. So it's sort of coming through and then round that way.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know what? This is where when I look, I feel like my right shoulder hangs back, and it's almost like I have to go like that, because otherwise, because of the speed, I've got nowhere else to go. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you've been using that Total Golf Trainer, you know, a hanger setting where you're trying to keep that against the back of your left forearm.
Yeah.
That's all you'd want to feel, really. You'd want to feel there, so your hands stay very passive, and then you can just work with passive hands through to your rotation. So you exit lower and feel like you're working more around the axis as opposed to up and high.
Let's give it a go.
Good. I'm obviously still looking at your lower body as well whilst you're doing this. really good, mate.
Feels like a right.
Looks a more powerful move.
Say again.
Looks a more powerful move.
Yeah, it feels quite powerful. Even if I do say myself.
Yeah, sound of that is it's really, really good. Brilliant.
Right, full in it, Riley.
Yeah.
It's just something like that. I know. I mean, I can't see the screen, and I don't know who's watching, or you know, people may watch this back. But when me and you work with things, Rich, it's sometimes just that one thing, isn't it? Where you just then just take that one thing away.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, look, because you know you're a good golfer, you play at a really high standard. If you come and saw me for half an hour, I wouldn't want to overload you. There's no point walking out of my bay, you know, and thinking, right, Christ, I've got to go and work on like 4 things here. It's never that far away, and we're gradually tweaking it, and you can see, like, you know, you're developing well, aren't you? Your handicap's coming down steadily. You're becoming a more consistent golfer. You know, it is really, really important not to overload you.
Yeah. No, I just like that one little thing. I like to be quite target focused when I'm playing, so not thinking about too much. So if there's just, you know, if I've just got that one thing to work on outside, then it just feels much better for me. I feel like I can progress by doing that rather than, you know, thinking about this and this.
Yeah. It's good, mate.
Cool.
You know, when we do actually get out of lockdown and do a face-to-face lesson, it's quite cool because obviously doing this and catching up, keeping it doing this. So I have got an idea for you, but I kind of need to be there to obviously make you feel the movement that I want you to create through the ball. But as long as you can, you know, we stay in contact pretty regularly. If you can send me some swings, you know, just kind of show me what you've been doing, and then, you know, maybe one from earlier on this week, and then one from you know, at the end of the week. You know, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. Once you've worked on it for a couple of days, just so we can check if you've progressed.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That was pretty successful. What was that? Half an hour?
Yeah, I think so. About half an hour, wasn't it?
Half an hour, 45 minutes of. So yeah, that was good, mate.
Yeah, no, you're both doing really well, guys. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep it simple. You know, the progression you've both been making since you've been locked down is superb. So, you know, I can't really ask of any more. You know, especially with what you do with Riley as well. It's fantastic. So I'm really happy.
Cheers, mate. No, I appreciate all the support, and I know you're sort of moving a little bit more with your social media now, aren't you? And just doing that little bit more, aren't you? So,
if weird, isn't it? I mean, I've been trying to you know, post some videos and stuff for about 3 or 4 years, just never really had the time to get around to it. But this is one thing that certainly, you know, benefited me, I guess, is to start looking into this side of things a bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going a bit.
Do you know what? Actually, I wasn't sure how the live thing would work with the smaller screens, but I thought that was all right. And I know you've got quite a few people that are active on social as well. You know, Ellie and people like that. So I think it's quite nice, and then to get the people's input as well. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
But nice one, mate.
All right, I'll see you guys soon. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. Cheers.
All right, take care. See you guys.
Thanks.
See you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.